with roads.
Seeing a white line.
No, I'm talking about road markings.
Anyway,
Chevrons. We are ready.
Cool. So, hello everyone. Welcome to the Positive Split. I'm Becky.
Oh, I'm Dan.
And I'm Sam.
So we had the genius idea. Well, I say we. Sam
texted us.
Sam texted us in his excitement about.
And it's been a long time coming because it was yesterday, so it's been about 13 hours max.
So if you've got ADHD, it's very, very much been in the
Yeah.
pipeline.
That's ages for me.
Yeah.
13 hours is way too long.
You can see our setup has taken a lot of time and effort and energy to put together. But basically, we're just going to be discussing all things running, fitness, strength
work.
stuff.
But I think the idea is we wanted some kind of like almost running adjacent podcast, right? Because we all come at running from very different angles, and sometimes it's good to just have lots of different runners with different ways of approaching running and training.
Yep.
And kind of bringing those together. Obviously, we've got, well, you and me, we're coaches.
Yeah,
so...
I'm a strength coach, so I've been coaching for about 4.5 years, and I'm very much a big advocate for strength running adjacent and in tandem with your running. And then
I'm a run coach and nutritionist, so kind of rounding up the trifecta. So yeah, I geek out and just really like going into the weeds on the nutrition side of things and the actual running technique, improving your running economy, and a lot about tech and gear and shoes, as you may be able to see from the video.
And I'm just an idiot who likes running, and I've been really wanting. So I've got a YouTube channel. Dan's got a YouTube channel and a big Instagram channel as well. So we do lots of things where we talk about our training and things like that, and I really love doing it. But I've really wanted to do a podcast for a long time, and so it finally sort of came to fruition where yesterday I just decided that actually Dan and Becky are the perfect people to do a podcast with.
we're practically neighbours.
Yeah, we live near each other, so that's the main thing.
Yeah.
You should have seen the way that this escalated from a text saying, hey, I've had an idea, let's start doing a podcast, to within about 10 minutes, shall we record the first episode tomorrow?
Here's the name, here's how I want it to go.
Yeah.
So yeah, my brain got into the hyperfocus, and I decided that it would work really well because I have lots of questions. So we'll talk about how we met in a bit, but Becky does strength training with me, and I asked Dan lots of tech questions and also nutrition questions and stuff like that. And so I thought I've got my own personal podcast in with these guys, so I thought it'd be really good to share it because they'll be very modest, but they have got a lot of experience and ideas that really do. It's not there's a lot of fads and white middle-aged men spouting crap on the internet. And I thought it would be important to get our version of white middle-aged, well, young.
Dan got mistaken for a 14-year-old the other day.
Yeah, this is completely unrelated, but I got stopped on Brighton seafront and got told how important it was to get your prostate checked for prostate cancer when you're in your early 40s. I turned 33 next month. No, in 2 months' time. So yeah, that was a nice vote of confidence.
Not quite middle-aged, nearly.
No. Yeah. But also, on that note, there's also far too many 20-something running influencers spouting absolute crap and trying to sell you supplements as well. So not that we want to make any enemies.
We can talk about electrolytes. If Electrolyte Company do want to sponsor this podcast, you're welcome. Maybe email us before you hear what these guys especially have to say about electrolytes.
Yeah, I think Element might they might not want to hear what we've got to say, but
that's exactly what I wanted to start this podcast. It's going to be, hopefully it's going to be a thing you can just tune into each week, where you get to catch up with all the stuff we're doing, but along the way you also get to learn some stuff and hopefully get entertained by our funny stories, like being mistaken for a prostate cancer person.
Were you about to say mistaken for a prostitute? It sounded like... I don't know.
Prostates and prostitutes is a better name for the podcast.
Yeah, instead of Positive Split, the prostitutes.
The positive prostitute.
We've gone from the Positive Split to prostate and prostitutes. But,
oh dear. Anyway, should we talk about how we met?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was it like a year and a half ago? So it was the Great South Run.
Yeah.
Was due to be on, but it got cancelled because of really bad weather. We weren't entered. Were you entered into it?
Yeah.
So you were going to do it. it got cancelled. So was it the Pound Hill Pounders local running group?
Yeah.
They put together a local 10-mile route, and we got wind of it, and everyone was welcome. And someone said, "Oh, Sam's put the route together." And we're like, "Don't know who Sam is."
I basically took over the whole thing. I
Yeah.
made the route and
Oh, did
decided
you?
that I was gonna.
And then we turned
So
up and
yeah, it
went,
was like meeting place Sunday 9 a.m. here. So we're like, let's go along. And then we started running at the. I think Alb was there. Local Alb. He's part of Personify.
Oh yeah,
another
the
runner.
rain.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
And we all just we went along, started running, and then Sam was leading it. I think we were starting off at a fairly sort of steady pace, and
Yeah.
I was like, I introduced myself when we were running, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm Becky," blah blah blah. And Sam was making a video, so he had his gear on.
yeah,
Like, all his
we turned
cameras
up and went,
stuff.
"Who is this guy with a camera strapped to his cap?
Had
What's
the
going on?"
vest, cap, all that
What a
stuff.
loser.
What a loser! And then
How dare you record stuff and put it on the internet for
and
people?
Sam was talking about how he was coming back from stress fracture because he'd done the marathon. You'd done the marathon, and then you went to Disneyland. Was it after?
Yeah, did right marathon, went to Disneyland, and then started training straight away for sub 3 and broke my hip. So
Yeah. So So I was learning all about that, and then Sam put together the video of the local run, Great South Run, and then I was like, "Oh, Dan, Sam's done the video," so we went to watch it, and he recorded it. He was like, "Oh yeah," and I was running with a nice girl, Holly. I was like, "Does he mean me?" So he got my name wrong straight away, and that is how we met.
Yeah.
So
He called you Holly the whole way around,
Yeah,
and
called me
then
Holly.
ran off towards the end.
I think we just kind of like followed each other on socials and.
Yeah, funnily enough, you two are my first 2 people that I followed on Instagram.
Oh.
Oh, really?
It was only about the 4th or 5th video I did on my channel because it was in like October.
Yes.
Yeah.
I started my channel in
24. October 24.
October 24.
Yeah, so I didn't do an Instagram for ages because I find short form content very, very difficult to make. So I started that and I followed you guys, and then I realised you're a PT, and then started working with you guys a bit more as well, which was nice.
Yeah. And now you make him lift heavy things.
Yes. So that was definitely, obviously, Sam's coming back from his injury, trying to get back into running. Is like, something needs to change. I need to, and obviously being a strength coach, I was like, yeah, you need to start lifting weights. And then he messaged me. He was like, I just need a bit of help, guidance in the gym, and went from there really. So then you joined the gym that I was working at the time.
Because this is what you do full time, I guess.
Yes.
Segueing into a brief introduction for what you actually do.
Yes.
Who are you? What do you do, Holly?
Holly, yep. I thought we've already said, haven't I already said I'm a strength coach?
Well, I thought you were going to talk a bit more about it, to be honest.
Well, I don't really know what to say.
Oh, okay. It's not like it's
talking about
It's not like it's been your full-time job for the last 4 years or anything like that. But okay, well, I guess your intro is you go in and make people lift heavy things, and then that helps them to run.
And you specialise with men, but also women as well.
Yep.
And people of all different like levels.
Yes,
which is something
different
that
levels.
is big on your Instagram page, isn't it? It's not
Yeah.
just.
It's not just like females. I try, and obviously I want to make sure that, yes, I'm a small female, but it doesn't mean I only coach small females. So very much
You're
get
a
people.
small female who can deadlift double her body weight.
Yes. Well, not at the moment, but it's been done in the past.
Yes.
So
But
yeah,
yeah.
just making helping people learn how to lift. I think that especially for new people and maybe runners who know they need to lift weights but they're scared of the gym, I help people build confidence walking into a gym. Making sure people realise you've got just as much right to be in that gym, in that space, as a newbie, as someone who's been lifting for like 10, 15 years plus. So
Yeah. Well, so I guess around a similar sort of time, actually, around October, November 2024, Becky and I set up our own coaching company,
Yep.
which Becky runs. And we were trying to think of good names for that, and we decided on Rift, because if you smush together run and lift, you end up with Rift.
yes,
So
that's why we called it that.
Yeah, so the entire ethos of our coaching is that you should be able to run fast, but also lift heavy weights at the same time. And Sam had the running fast bit already down, but it was just the lifting heavy weights bit that we had.
Not lift heavyweights. Still cannot
No,
lift
yes, you
heavyweights.
can.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, how do you feel since you've been how's your running changed since you've sort of been lifting and in the gym?
Oh, he's transformed it. Like, you cannot, in my opinion, you cannot run fast without doing that strength and conditioning. There are people who, you know, can just run and that's fine.
Yeah.
But I truly think that they're still not maximizing what they can do. I have not run fast in a long time because I've been slowly rebuilding all those things. But I can already feel. So I ran back-to-back marathons, Brighton and London. There was not a single chance I would have made it even through one of those marathons had I not done the strength stuff.
Yeah.
So what got me through those marathons was my strength, and it wasn't the running training. I think I could have done half the running and still got through them. A bit slower, but I still would have made it.
Yeah.
So my goal for the last 6 months has been just to run injury-free, because I was just getting injury after injury, getting too excited. I've got a big cycling background where I did a lot of bike racing and stuff like that. So like my cardio system is ready to go, but the rest of me is most definitely not ready to go.
Yeah.
And that is hard, especially with my fragile male ego. I just want to run fast, want to go to park runs, want to get PBs, and I just took a step back, and Becky was a massive part of that, of going, right, here's what you need to do. And so that's really sort of helped me. So I'm finally at that stage, fingers crossed, where I'm at the point of being able to start training properly now and get faster and have a bit of summer. So I've signed up to about 300 different restaurants.
Yeah.
In my
So
excitement.
just contradicting everything is just said.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm in the place ready to do that, and the strength stuff is going to be a big part of it. I'm committed to doing it
It's
an hour a week.
It's a non-negotiable, isn't it? And a lot of runners don't enjoy spending time in the gym because it doesn't excite them. They're not, I don't know, maybe they feel they're like a little bit out of place, but you don't have to be spending like each session 2 hours in the gym. Just 2 30-minute strength sessions is more than enough. Just, you know, just get your main lifts down, like your compound lifts, so you're hitting, you know, multiple muscle groups in sort of one hit. Just get in, get out. You can even do some bits at home if you've got some weights at home.
I think people find it overwhelming. Like I was like that. I was like, I've got the whole gym, and I want to. Like my personality is, I want to do it all.
Yeah.
And it's like, I learned from you that actually you can just do 2 or 3 things this week, and then do a different 2 or 3 things the next week. And for the first month, you're not going to really notice anything, but it's that compounding of strengths over time. And that's what, in the end of those marathons, I did feel tired, but I could feel my body still functioning. And I was like my bum, my glutes especially, I was like, I can feel them actually doing their job, not just collapsing under me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's when your ITB goes, that's when your ankle goes. It's further up the chain.
Yeah. And I think that's part of the problem, isn't it? Is when you, especially if you just run and you just do a lot of running, your aerobic system kind of just keeps improving to a certain degree, especially as you just get more different types of running in. Your aerobic system gets stronger and stronger, and you keep pushing yourself more until you realize that the rest of your body can't keep up with the amount of the load that you're putting through it.
I think that's almost mentally harder than almost being a beginner. So when you're a beginner, it's all moving at the same rate, whereas like I'm like desperate, and I know, but I like, if I put in a fast park run, my Achilles get out.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to be able to run for 3 or 4
But
weeks.
like,
and
through
so frustrating.
You're breathing your lungs fine.
Yeah.
Like, can handle it, but
Yeah.
And the fact that everything is so interconnected, and you just alluded to it there actually, where it might be something happening further up the chain, and so you might be running, and I think this trips up a lot of runners, is if you're running and then suddenly you develop some kind of pain in your knee, let's say, often it's not actually your knee that's the problem.
It's not where it hurts, it's somewhere else.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it displays itself there, but it's
Yeah.
a problem elsewhere.
The symptom isn't necessarily the cause. It's more than likely, actually, it's an imbalance in your hip or your ankle or something else that's forcing your knee to compensate for it.
I get that with my IT band. If I don't run with proper form, like I had my IT band running slowly, because I was just trudging along, not really paying any attention, and my hips just collapsed. But only afterwards, when it hurt, did I realise, I was running like an absolute idiot.
And that's where, and you will preach this till the cows come home, I'm sure, the importance of split squats and just single leg exercises to balance your body out, so that both of your legs or both of your arms, whatever, so that everything can take the same amount of strain and the same amount of weight, so that you're not leaning into one side and injuring one side of your body.
Yeah, it's like, as I said, it's it is very overwhelming when you walk into a gym. There's all these machines, kit, all this stuff, but you just need to do the basics, the fundamentals, and just do them well. And just
Well, that's what really stands out for you on these is that doesn't get you loads of traction on the internet.
No.
Trying, faddy things, controversial things, all that sort of stuff. That's what gets you found on the internet, and that's why I really respect you to like. And there's a guy called Evan Jones as well, who I follow. He's really good. But he doesn't have loads of followers either because he just preaches like you do. Basic stuff, just
It's boring.
You
It's
don't
boring.
need to be hanging off upside down on the treadmill.
It's pretty boring.
But that's really good for beginners, though.
Yeah.
Because then that's safe. It's like, actually, that's really good, and like, you should keep preaching that because that's
Right. I mean, the thing with something like a split squat or a lunge, like, it's very simple, but there's so many different ways you can regress it, progress it. You can just load it. The stronger you get, you can just go heavier and heavier and heavier. But it's not fancy. It's like you say, it's it's not arms flying around. It's not like high rocks. It's not exciting, but it works. And proof.
I think the beauty in that though. I like that structure of just doing the simple thing.
The boring basics.
And like I was talking about my new style training with the faddy Norwegian singles method, but it's very similar to that. It's just doing. You finish and you should be going. Was that it?
Yeah.
I can't walk down the stairs and I'm no longer able to function properly.
Yeah.
It's being able to do it over and over again and over the course of 2 years rather than 12 weeks.
Yeah.
That is what gets you results. But for me, Mr. Impatient, it's like I just have to lock in and just try and enjoy the process of it.
I'm thinking the bigger picture.
Yeah.
I always think you need to think of your body a bit like a house. Like if you're not building it on solid foundations, something is going to, like if you just focus on putting the right paintings up or getting the walls the right colour, but you haven't put a solid concrete foundation down.
Instagram house, the inside looks great.
It's all going to collapse. Yeah. So not to put you on the spot or anything as our resident strength expert, but let's say, for example, you've got runners who currently don't go to the gym. They have a gym membership that they've been paying for, but not going. Let's say if a runner who could only go to the gym once a week to do some strength training.
Yep.
What exercises would you recommend to them, assuming they are fairly beginner to the gym? Like, what should they be doing?
So you want a hinge in there. So I do a Romanian deadlift, so an RDL, something where your hips are going back. So you're going to be working your posterior, so hamstrings, glutes, back. Get some calf raises in there. You want a single leg exercise, so a split squat, a lunge. If you're a little bit wobbly or your balance is not there, then you can just hold on to something and then just go into your split squat stance. Probably want a bit of core in there as well, obviously. Abs, making sure you've got a nice strong core, so just like a hollow hold, or plank's a bit of a shit exercise, but some there's no shit exercise.
That's not what you just said.
Just some like crunches or something like that. And then I think that's probably it, and maybe a bilateral squat as well. But
You can tell that you know about strength from the speed at which you just rattle through those. So my brain is still trying to keep up, and I've got a PT qualification. So you want some core like compound exercises to like work lots of muscle groups.
Yeah,
that's the idea, right?
Yes.
So
and what about weight and how much you do? So that's what I always push it too far. So that's why I need someone like you being like, no, 3's enough.
Yeah.
Stop now.
So as a beginner, when you're just starting out as well, or like you're a runner that can only commit to one strength session a week, stick to be between sort of 8 to 12 reps for 3 sets. Make sure you're having rest in between. I think a lot of runners have this thing about just moving super fast through exercises. That's just maybe the way they're wired.
Yeah.
I think I did a strength session the other day and had a couple of ladies in there that do high rocks, and the class is strength and conditioning,
and they were done 10 minutes before
they were
everyone
literally
else.
flying through, and I'm like, guys, like, you don't need to be taking 5 minutes between each set, but just calm down, like, let your muscles recover. And it's different because maybe your heart rate is not going up super high, or you don't feel like you're working hard because you're not absolutely sweating. But yeah, in terms of like sets and reps, 3 rounds, 3 sets, sort of between sort of 8 to 12. In terms of weight, I'd always do like a little warm-up body weight to start, or something, just an empty bar or something really light. Gauge how it feels. And then you want to sort of be working to, you never always want to be pushing a max. So sort of gauge it how you gauge a run, like your rate of perceived exertion, or like how hard that felt. start with like a 6 or a 7 out of 10. Like, you don't need to be pushing super hard. And reps in reserve, like how many reps did I have when I got to my 12th rep? How many more do I feel like I can keep doing? If it's like another 5, 6, 7 reps, you've probably gone a little bit too light. If you're like, oh, that last one, form's gone, that felt really heavy, couldn't hold on to the dumbbells, it's probably a little bit too heavy. So
You don't try and lift your heaviest until your hip flexor a bit.
no.
No, you don't do that.
Don't
No.
I haven't done that.
But yeah, think of it as a runner. Think of it as like an easy run initially. So if you're going into the gym for your first sort of few sessions, think of it as I'm just doing like the sort of level you would do an easy run at, just like a 6, 7 out of 10. Not, just gauge it. So yeah, and I think just getting the basic movements in and
Doing something.
and like I'm sure a lot of people remember their first run, how that felt like, oh, people are going to be looking at me, or their first park run, like, oh, there's loads of people around. And then eventually you just,
No one cares.
everyone's
obsessed with
literally, no one cares. Yeah, no one cares. So same thing in the gym, put some earphones in, try not to look around at what everyone else is doing. As I said, they're not going to be looking at you.
Yeah.
So, and yeah.
I guess on that note, so because Sam, you've gone from sort of mostly doing almost entirely running to then getting your weight training in.
Yeah.
What was it for you when you first started going to the gym that helped you kind of get over that initial hurdle of actually getting yourself in the gym regularly? Like, did it feel intimidating at first, or?
Yeah, I mean, I go to the gym before work a lot, so it's a lot easier because it's so much quieter. So that helped as well, because it's the whole working out when you can go on a machine and stuff like that. So I think finding the right gym is really important. So sadly, I just left the gym that Becky's also left. No, that was really
That's
good.
a topic for another
It was,
day.
it was a very big gym, and it was always pretty quiet. And I left because of parking reasons and stuff like that. But the gym I'm at the moment is much busier, especially after school. It's next to a secondary school, so when I go, it's just full of kids, and I think that's great for the youth of today. To instead of go and do whatever stupid things I used to do. I wish, at that age, I was going to the gym and stuff like that.
Same, yeah.
So, but it just means it's a bit busier. So it's just knowing exactly what to do, and that's why, because I've done the work with you, I now know, right, I need to go and get that, and then can do that, and so I don't feel lost at all. Like going into it, knowing what your plan is, but being able to move those exercises around, they don't have to be in the right order.
Yeah.
So, the bar's, not free at the moment, I'll go do some core stuff. Oh, it's free now.
Yeah.
I'll jump in and do it. So I think having that, just turning up and just trying to make it up as you go along, you end up just going, I'll tell you what, I'll just do what I know, and I'll go on the elliptical, I'll go on the bike.
And then you end up doing like nothing, or like
Exactly.
Yeah.
Using a treadmill.
Yeah.
And also I think that's why the way I coach and the way I program, a lot of it is free weights. So 9 times out of 10 when you go in a gym, there's always going to be a dumbbell free, or there's always going to be a kettlebell or a barbell. Whereas when you're solely relying on machines, there might have to be a bit of waiting around.
Yeah.
Or,
I think the free weights are so much better. Because before I did some stuff with Becky, I only used machines. I didn't use any free weights whatsoever. But I was still getting injured because it was all the stabilizing tendons, all the other little movable bits. My actual muscles, I think, were okay.
Yeah.
But where I was getting injured, it was my Achilles, it was my hip flexors, it was my IT band.
Yeah.
It's all the stuff that when you use free weights, that's like the massive extra secondary bonus
100%.
Yeah.
of doing those things. And so that for me is like the game changer. But they're the scarier things. To pick up a kettlebell and like start swinging it about. It's like,
Well, especially if you think about it from a running perspective, and not to go too deep into the nerdy side of it already, but just like think about when you're running, and every time you run, you're taking like a big stride, and your foot is landing, and you're catching your body weight. All of that motion is going through your ankles, through your knees, through your hips, and especially if you think about your hip being like a ball and socket joint, because it can move in so many different directions. The amount of force that you have to do to catch that weight and stabilize it every single time your foot lands, which is going to be thousands of times every time you run, that strength needs to be built up in some way. And that's why, especially with, like Becky says, like the single leg exercises, the free weight, all of the things where you don't have machines balancing the weight for you, and you're forced to use those stabilizing muscles, that translates to a much easier time of it when you're running. because you're working all of those.
I think that's a bigger win than the actual exercise itself, if you know what I mean. Because when I did my first marathon in Brighton, I wore Alpha Flies, and I really, really hurt my IT band because I was running on a cambered road in big chunky shoes, and
Very
I've
soft
never done
foam.
any.
Yeah.
And I did on one of my videos, I did like a course guide where I talked about the camber to people, and so many comments were from people saying, "Oh, I didn't realise why it was so bad," and making sure you run at a certain place and training that. And again, I did those 2 marathons. I didn't have a single issue. And I'm like, I didn't do anything. I did a few Copenhagen planks to help, because that helps them.
Yeah.
But other than that, it was mainly just doing the exercises, and it's just a really good secondary benefit.
Yeah.
Proof is in the pudding.
Yeah. Well, pro tip, if you're ever doing a race that's on closed roads, if you run on the white line in the middle of the road, you're going to be at the least at the mercy of the camber. So it will be where the road is the flattest, because, I mean...
Is that where the blue line goes as well in races?
No. So basically, with
I've never
roads,
seen a white line.
no, I'm talking about road markings.
Anyway,
Chevrons.
I think about the blue line where that's the
So running coded. It's like, doesn't know.
What white line?
driving lessons. That is frightening.
I've got to get in the car with you later on. So basically, with roads, they have a white line in the middle.
Yes, I know
Okay,
this.
but to be able to, I presume it's just for rainfall and to stop standing water build up. They're cambered to sort of drop down on either side, and obviously when you're running, that can really impact. And like Sam said, well, you mentioned Alpha Flies. So if you're running with carbon shoes or super shoes that have got really soft foam every time you're landing, and you're actually running on a road that's tilted slightly like this, you are going to stress one leg or one side of your joint.
And you never run on a road in training. You spend all your time running on a pavement, which is not cambered.
There's no white lines on them.
No. Right, moving on.
Well, but I guess that kind of leads us on nicely to what this podcast actually really is, and we touched on it earlier. But essentially, the way I see it is just us sort of having a bit of a chat, keeping up with. It also helps keep us accountable with our training targets about what we're doing.
Yep.
But I'm thinking of it a bit like an open forum for kind of runners or what you called yourself earlier, just the resident idiot.
Yeah.
Which is a little
Runners, idiots, anyone that whether you haven't run, you're getting started. Because again, I did a London Marathon video, and I had so many people who aren't runners. Like my wife Emma, she was like, "I'm going to come for a run," and like my friends signed up for London Marathon, and like I think this should be for everyone. And on your, if you're doing a couch to 5K or whatever, you stick this on in your ears. You just have that general catch up. You're not necessarily listening to this for any one specific piece in the podcast. It's just, I love those sorts of podcasts.
Ultimately, running should be for everyone, and that's what we're trying to push forward. And one of the things that I've noticed as well with posting videos on YouTube and getting comments, I get so many comments where people kind of preface it with like, "Oh, this is a stupid question," but or like, "Oh, I didn't know I didn't know I could ask this question, or I feel like I should know it already." And I think there's a bit of a stigma there where people think that they should know more, and they feel almost nervous or embarrassed to ask what they deem as like the stupid questions.
Yeah.
I'd love those questions, because I would love to be able to go through some of the simpler stuff that sometimes people are afraid to ask. So this podcast is going up on YouTube as well, I think, on both of our channels. So if you're watching it on YouTube and you want to post a comment, please ask what you think are the stupid questions that you've never
Do you know what a white line on a road is?
Yeah, exactly. This is the level we're working at here.
You can read that.
Yes.
But like, I think those sorts of questions, and people say like, "Oh, like, I don't know, what should I eat before my run?" or like these types of things. It could be literally anything that you've been too afraid to ask anywhere else. I want to be able to tackle some of those questions.
And that's kind of my job here as well, to ask those questions on behalf of all the idiots in the world. And not idiots.
Yeah.
But I think running is like, it's becoming, and we were talking about this on WhatsApp the other day, it's becoming this big beast. And with things that get really popular, things start getting gatekeeped by stuff.
100%.
And when you look at cycling is one of the most clicky sports in the entire world. If you don't use the right words when you're riding
Is
in a
it?
group,
I didn't know that.
It is insane. It's ridiculous. So on a group ride, you've got to be doing certain things. You've got to be saying certain things. It's and there's obviously other parts of cycling where it's not like that, but especially road racing and things, where you turn up to Goodwood to do your race, and you've got your first catch, your elites, your second catch, your third catch. It's very, very frightening. To get involved is really hard. And cyclocross, which is like cycling on road bikes but off road,
Right, yeah.
which is massive in like Holland and Belgium, and I used to race it quite a lot. It used to be that was like your first way in. You get involved. It wasn't super. You didn't have to be catching up with the group to stay in the race. You just rode
Not competitive
around.
or anything.
But it is dying off because of the cost, because of the, if you're not training like 15 hours a week and you've got an FTP of like 350, you're getting dropped by people.
I can imagine all the gear must be pretty expensive.
Well, like if you're setting a chain for your gears, you're looking at like 100, 120 quid just for basic stuff.
Yeah.
And so I think so many people are moving over to running, but with that comes some of the same people who are like, oh, if you're not running in carbon shoes, or people have like polarized opinions to make themselves stand out. And actually, it is very nuanced. You can run in carbon shoes all the time if you would like, or you could never run in carbon shoes. You don't have to run a marathon.
Oh, you need to have 4 pairs of shoes for your rotation. You need to run in these shoes for your easy runs. You need to do that. You don't need to do anything.
Someone said to me the other day, she was like, oh, I need another pair of running trainers because, for hybrid, just so I can do a bit. I'm like, you're fine. Just wear your running shoes.
It quickly becomes a bit of a
everyone's like,
runaway train.
Run, they said. It's free, they say.
But I think people need to find what works for them to be able to run consistently and to just have fun with it. And I think sometimes people get a bit too into the weeds where it starts sucking the fun out of things for them.
And through social media, that is
I mean, that's a whole episode in itself, isn't it? Like social media and
social media's impact on running,
influencers and all that sort of stuff. But going back to Sam's point, how running has just sort of blown up over the last few years. Obviously, you've got other fitness competitions that have come into fruition, like High Rocks. Obviously, I think that's been a massive sort of contributor to the running sphere as well. And I think a lot of people now are just switching on and paying more attention to their health and fitness rather than, pubs and stuff. I know they're struggling, but a lot of Gen Z and stuff, they don't want to spend their evenings down in the pub, firstly because they can't afford it, and secondly I think people are a lot more into being healthier and just
I think the rise of running as social, just a way of staying social, and like the rise of run clubs as well.
Run clubs.
If you look at the number of run clubs, especially in the UK where we are now compared to 3 or 4 years ago, and obviously COVID had a big impact on that. But you only need to look at the number of entrants into the London Marathon ballot over the last 3 or 4 years. I'm sure everyone's seen that spike up. There's 1.3 million entrants.
And it's 20 to 30-year-old women was the highest.
Which is great.
Which is crazy, isn't it? Like, that's mad.
But I'm great, big fan of that. But I think going back to what you were saying is we want to take the gatekeeping out of running, and we want to make sure that it is. I don't care if someone is listening to this who is trying to train for a sub 2:30 marathon, or if they're still building up couch to 5k and they're looking at just being, or even just trying to run a kilometre without
just get out the front door.
I want it to be for all of those people.
Things of the spectrum.
Yes.
Which I think is really cool.
I'm not professing to be an absolute expert. Obviously, we're talking from personal experience, but we do have some idea.
Yeah, we have a bit of an idea. I mean, you want to rattle off the marathons you've done? You've got enough experience with this to talk on it with some authority.
Done a few. I get a bit like bashful because when we talk to people and Dan's like,
"Ow,
careful." Dan says, "Oh yeah, she did this," and I'm like, I don't know. I just feel it's a bit like showing off. I don't know.
Yeah, no, don't show off. You don't want to show off.
No, that is a good medal. I've never seen that.
That's a nice medal you got there.
I don't know. I just get a little bit like, because I am very aware about what the running sphere is. Some people do find it very intimidating and overwhelming, and then you get me rolling up to park run.
I think it's the delivery of it.
And I get a bit
in a way of being like, I came from here, I trained really hard, and I've done this, so you should celebrate that sort of thing.
And especially when you think that 4 years ago, I mean, not long after we first met, is I had to convince Becky to run 8k with me because she was so used to running.
But I know I'm not normal how fast I've progressed.
No, of course not.
So...
But it's just it's a good way of showing that is a possibility. Like you can be, I don't know. This is something that always gets me is when people say, "Oh, I'm not a runner," or "I'm not built for running." And it's like, well, Yes and no. Like, I think anyone can be a runner if they want to be, regardless of injuries or body type or like the way that you run, etc. If you're willing to, one, be bad at it to start with,
Yep.
and sort of be slow or need to stop or kind of be willing to turn up to a park run and be at the back. Like, yeah, that's absolutely, there's nothing wrong with that. I think being willing to just turn up and get out the door and just be doing something, even if it's not the level you want to be at that moment in time, that is the core fundamental thing that people need.
And that's why I think it's important. You've got to love the process. If you don't love the process, then running's not for you.
Yeah.
If you're just doing it to run a PB and you hate doing the training, you're going to have quite a rough time of it. Like, I love the train. I could never enter a race again, and I would still do what I do and love what I do. The racing is just a nice little fun bonus that then go back. And actually, I hate the tapering. I hate the race as in the before and after and all that stuff. I just like the routine of, right, I've got 5 runs this week and I'm going to go to the gym.
You've got
and
some
just doing that
focus,
week
structure.
in, week out.
Yeah.
That's a lovely thing for me. So I think that's what you've got to try and find. And it is hard, especially when you're beginning.
Yeah.
But enjoy being rubbish or something. That's quite a privilege to be able to do that. So,
And that ties in with this whole thing about trying to get the spotlight away from running influencers, and here's the one workout you've got to be doing, and you have to buy these shoes and this supplement, and like the last thing we want is for people to come into the sport of running and then kind of have these gatekeepers convincing new runners that they have to run in a certain way. You don't have to run in a certain way. You don't have to start running and immediately, like, you don't have to run a marathon to be a runner. Like, there's all these kind of ideas that are being pushed through social media in particular at the moment, that are quite damaging to people coming into the sport of running. Which that's what we're trying to rally against a little bit, and just really just put forward the idea that actually, no, running's for everyone. You approach it how you want to approach it, and hopefully you can say to other people, that's how you run, this is how I run.
Right.
Good metaphor for life.
Yeah.
We've only talked politics.
Yeah, exactly. Right, so the American geopolitics episode is next week.
So what is that medal, first of all? Speaking of gatekeeping, we didn't actually mention what it is.
Well, let's touch on what's that bright gold medal.
And why is it quite good?
Okay, so this is my Boston Marathon medal. So
this is the show and tell portion of the podcast.
This is my most recent marathon medal. So it was on the 20th of April. So that's, what's the date today? 16th. So nearly a month ago. We flew out to Boston. I say terrible. My training for running up to the marathon was not good because I was battling tendon muscle strain. It was just a constant it feels good, do a run, feels bad. And I wasn't doing any sort of tempo, speed stuff. I was just getting miles in. And I just wanted to, by the time we got there, I just wanted to get round with a strong run and finish. So I was really chuffed that I managed to, all my splits were super consistent. The course is, the first half is very downhill, which sounds, oh, cool, that must be easy. No. After about 10k, my quads were already blown, and I knew it was coming, all the hills, and I held back, but nothing prepares you, no matter how much training you do. But no, I managed to get around. All my splits were super consistent, even by the last one. So I was really happy. What time?
Yeah.
I got 3:32, which I was very happy with.
Nice. And to get into Boston, originally you have to run a certain time. So Boston, you can't just enter in a ballot.
No.
It's like it is a bit gatekeeping, but actually, you know, I think there's places for all these different things. There are some races where it's like, actually, that's why if you've got to run fast, you get into that.
Yeah.
And so you ran a fast time to get into that.
I did Barcelona Marathon last year, so the time I got me in to Boston this year. So I wanted to soak it up and enjoy as much as I could, because I thought if this is the only time I ever do it, obviously we spent a lot of money getting over there, a lot of tears in the training. I think just because I just cared about it so much, and it is, so.
I've got a question for you two. on the topic of Boston.
Yeah.
There was a bit of controversy in Boston with Nike's advertising. And obviously around the marathon, certainly around Boston on the marathon weekend, there's a lot of motivational posters that go up from the different brands, and Nike's ones are pretty famous for having like different
At the
slogans
top
and
of
stuff.
Heartbreak Hill.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so there was a poster that went up from Nike that said, "Runners welcome, walkers tolerated," around Boston. So there was some backlash to this on the internet.
Yeah.
With sort of there were two camps, right? There was kind of the camp that was actually not in favour of it, but people supporting it, basically saying, look, Boston is kind of the pinnacle of marathon racing. Like, you effectively have to qualify to get in. It's very difficult to get in, and it is for like, it's almost like the 1% of the 1%, sort of like the very, very top level.
Yeah.
That should be an acceptable form of advertising, or just people shouldn't be taking offence to it in this scenario, because look, it's Boston, you're here to run a marathon. That was one side. But then there was the other side, which where a lot of the backlash came from, where basically saying like, you shouldn't be judging people for walking during a marathon, because some people do it as part of their marathon strategy, some people just need to walk, and that makes them feel less than. Where do you guys sit on that spectrum? And feel free to be honest, because that's what we're here for.
Well, in this modern world of like having to have an opinion, like my brain just always, if I see anything, my brain just automatically goes to finding where's my position on this.
Yeah.
And like I was listening to another podcast talking about this the other day, and I was like, you instantly go something, but then I'm like, but I need to look at all the things. So my initial thing is like, well, I see Boston as like, you've got running races and events in rungs. You've got like the Olympics and the World Championships, and obviously no one walks up the race walkers at the Olympics. And I see Boston as like underneath that. I think it was genius advertising from Nike. Like they fully knew what they were doing, and you know, it got everyone talking about them. Are people genuinely never going to buy Nike shoes again? I really don't think that's the case.
No.
I think it's just got everyone talking about it. And I think there is a place for things like that. And also, you've got to just like take, for me, I just take it with a pinch of salt. Go like, okay, well, edgy advertising.
Yeah.
Even if I was walking the Boston Marathon, I'd be like, yeah, cool. Well, I'm still going to do
What I do.
because I've got enough sort of self-esteem in as to what I do. I know not people will have as privileged position as I do in those sorts of things. So I understand why people might be upset. So I'm like, if you want to be upset, you crack on. That's fine. If you don't want to be upset, also fine. Like you're allowed. In my world, people are allowed to have those different things. And both can be valid at the same time. But for me personally, I think, Boston Marathon is, you have a qualifying time, you get that time, and then you go for it. And, if you get that through doing some walking, or you've had an injury or an illness or something that means you have to walk it, then also fine. Because there's more than one way to, achieve it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I don't want to just be like, I agree with Sam, but very much in the same camp. I think for me personally, when I was running the race, I think twice I stopped and walked for like 20 seconds just to catch my breath, just to have a little
There's Nike officials on the side just pelting her with rocks.
Like, it wasn't a big deal, like, just a quick like check in with my brain, like it was just like a quick few strides just to check in with myself mentally. But I still got a 3:32, so I wouldn't get to the finish line. But I'm really disappointed. I stopped and walked like twice for 20 seconds. Like, absolutely not.
Yeah.
So, and it's so hard to get into the standard of the runners. I felt a bit like I had imposter syndrome, because I was like, I don't feel good enough to be here. Obviously, I was, but I think I was just everyone I looked. There was no one was in like fancy dress. There was no pacers like with the flags on. Like everyone was.
It was more like a sort of club race, marathon level, rather than
like
a big sort of marathon event in that style.
Completely, because I've done London twice. Completely different to London. Like.
I think that's why running is different to cycling. Because cycling, you have like sportives, but when you enter a proper road cycling race, it is literally, it feels like the World Championships. Everyone is there on the most expensive bikes.
All the gear.
Everyone's in teams. Everyone's dead serious. There's no like, Like, I was like, because of my personality, I ride around like, and I'm like talking and joking and stuff like that, and no one responds. They are just like,
Yeah.
dead
Tunnel
set.
vision.
And I'm just like, no one's having fun here.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's like make or break, unless I win. I'm just like,
Yeah.
this is just not for me. And like, the risks.
Yeah.
Worth it.
The thing is, and just coming back to the Nike thing, is I don't know. I'm kind of in two minds about the whole thing. I think that you should be able to make an advert like that and not have it be massively offensive to a lot of people, because I think if they'd done that at just like a regular kind of just open entry marathon that was very easy to you just sign up and get in, I think that's worse, because I think that kind of then kind of brings this idea of like, oh well, you shouldn't be turning up if you're planning on walking any of it. Because at the end of the day, it's advertising. Like, it's not a very nuanced take, and it is very sweeping and generalized. But I do think there should be spaces in the running world and the running community, like Boston or like a lot of these races, where people have worked and trained very hard to get to that kind of level. And I don't think in a situation like that it should be seen as that offensive. Like, yes, people are going to walk at stages during the marathon, but I think if you are turning up to a marathon with the intent of walking for a lot of it, my personal opinion is that you shouldn't be running a marathon at that point. If it's part of your training strategy or your race strategy, yeah, fine, no problem. Then you're not going to take offense to that anyway. But I do think that a lot of the time, and this is a whole separate topic to be honest, but there are people who sign up for marathons. This goes back to what I was saying before about feeling like you need to run a marathon to be a runner. And people, I think there is an influx of people who are signing up for marathons who are not ready to run marathons.
Social media slipping of running, where you start a marathon and work your way down. Because what gains traction on social media and what lots of people watch is all the marathon content and stuff like that. But actually, someone who doesn't have social media and just starts a park run and then goes, oh, I'll do a 10K next. And then they build up, and then at some point they sort of meet in the middle. But doing the first marathon without you, it's just not an enjoyable experience in that sense. And my worry is all these people signing up, it's an angle of your personality rather than I'm doing it for the right reasons.
Dan said, would you, if you didn't have social media, would you still be signing up to these things? Like, think of it as, if social media wasn't a thing, if you couldn't tell anyone that you were doing it, or you couldn't post it or whatever, would you still do this? And if the answer is no,
I don't think you're doing it for the right reason at that point.
To be honest, would London still be as busy with all the people there?
No.
Then I wouldn't do London.
So
I'm purely doing London for content creation, and the experience was amazing. I would never do London to try and run it fast, anything like that. And that's why when I did run it a month or so ago, I was like, actually, I'm not going to even risk any sort of injury. I'm going to completely wind it.
But you did it for charity.
And just we did it for charity. So it was an amazing once in a lifetime opportunity, but unless we get like a good parade where you can start right at the front and then do it like that. And the crowds were amazing and stuff like that, but it was the most overwhelming.
So it is.
Ultimately, like, was that it was very tongue-in-cheek advertising. Was it too offensive to some people? Yeah, sure, and people are well within their rights to be offended by that message. But I do also think it kind of highlights a slightly deeper rooted problem in the running community at large at the moment of people doing marathons before they're ready to be able to do it. I'm not saying that you have to be able to run the full marathon distance without stopping to do it, but I do think that there is a section of people that are entering marathons before they're ready, and I've seen this as someone who's coached people who have signed up for marathons before they've ever run a half marathon. And there is more of that in the industry now, which is not ideal. But ultimately I think it comes back to what you said. It was a marketing play from Nike, and it's part of something that just gets more views and more clicks. Some people got offended, some people didn't. Move on.
Right, should we move on to like a little bit of a fun thing to finish off? Like, you were going to do like questions.
I've got some shoes to show you.
Shoes. Okay. Should we move on to gear? We've been going 50 minutes.
Yeah, let's do a show and tell, and then we'll close it out for this
So
one.
having spoken about you don't need loads of gear and you can just ride a long pair of shoes.
Yeah,
I've
Sam's
got
got-
a bag.
Sam is sitting here with a
Says-
large bag.
Says us with all of these.
These are I love running shoes, just like my wife's. And
But you still have a wife.
I still have a wife. Yeah,
So-
she's very supportive, thank you very much. So I've got some very special, different types of shoes that I don't think you guys maybe have seen yet. So I've
Okay.
got my Chinese super shoes.
Oh yeah, well I've
Okay.
seen them on your
Yeah.
Instagram and
So
stuff.
these are the leading Challenger Elite Sixes. So they are being raved about. So I ran the London Marathon.
Oh,
with these.
light.
So they've got like this dual rocker technology where you basically can run really fast in them. When you slow down, they also really work.
Okay.
And these saved my London Marathon. Combined with my strength training, they really, really,
Boom
when I
right there.
slowed down, they were really, really helpful. So
What did you find different about them in terms of how they felt compared to?
they're like an Alpha Fly,
Yeah.
Alpha Fly 3, so they feel stable compared to some of the other shoes I'm about to show you.
Yeah,
And
quite wide there.
they do push you onto your forefoot, but
Yeah.
when you get tired and you slowly move back, they also work really well.
Support
Whereas
you
lots of
there.
other super shoes, where you're not running at that optimal midfoot, front foot,
Mhm.
for me anyway, everything then just collapses. There's no support. So they were
So
very good.
they've got quite a high stack of foam, but
They're chunky boys.
They are chunky.
it's a lot of high stack foam, especially through the midfoot as well.
And because
So
I paid £182 for these,
Okay.
but you can get them. I know someone like called Max Tracks on the old YouTubes. He got a pair of these and a pair of other leaning shoes for 160 quid.
Okay.
So AliExpress do like big deals on them
Yeah.
at different times. I wanted them in time for London, so I just paid full price.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're like 2 weeks to get delivered.
Did
So-
you
They're
go
really
up?
good.
Did you go up a size, half a
No,
size?
exact same size. So I'm Euro 43, 8.5 UK. They've got like a nice sock booty upper. I tied them up a bit too tight, and my ankle suffers
Yeah.
from that. That was the only thing I got out of London.
So you say you can get them for 160 odd quid. What shoe would you most equate them to? Like Western shoe?
I think they are. It's an Alpha Fly 3
Uh-huh.
with an Asics Metaspeed Sky upper.
Right. Okay.
So I love the Asics. So I've got the Metaspeed Sky Paris,
Yeah.
and it feels like that. So they feel really tight on top of your foot in a comfortable way, unless you do the laces up too tight, but with the stability of an Alpha Fly.
Okay.
Nice.
So
Moving on.
yeah, they're very different. These are a bit thirsty, so make sure you don't get involved in anything. You've got the classic
Yeah. Adios Pro 4s.
Pro 4s. You get
Yeah.
110 quid now.
What?
Yeah, £110 gets you a pair of these if you look close enough.
Wow.
So the Pro 5's coming up very soon.
Nice,
So
that's
there's going to
right.
be some right old bargains
Yeah.
coming for those.
I mean,
don't
as
get-
as an avid user of the Evo SLs, I can
Yeah,
appreciate.
I mean they're great. I love those shoes, but carbon rods break in the Pro 4s quite a lot. I know a lot of people who've got snappy rods.
No.
This is my shout out. These are ladies' shoes.
Oh.
These are my Alpha Fly 3 ladies. Alpha Fly 3 ladies are exactly the same as men's.
So they're
Okay.
unisex.
So you can get some bargains and you can get
better
some
colours.
really good colourways
Yeah.
in those. But I thought I'd bring them out because they
Yeah,
are-
I mean they do look quite similar,
Yeah.
don't
yeah,
they?
they've got that
leanings.
stability. They
Yeah.
feel quite weighty, or not weighty, but like substantial under your foot.
In terms of like the midfoot is very similar width. It's not like super narrow and the same sort of like
Yeah. For people not watching on the video, my leanings are bright yellow and my Alpha Fly ladies are bright pink.
The brightest pink I have ever seen, and I'm a little bit jealous, to be honest. So, question for you then,
Yeah.
Sam. At the moment, as our resident shoe geek, I mean we're all shoe geeks, but you've just whipped out 4 pairs of
It's still
shoes
got
from the
another pair
bag.
that he hasn't
Oh,
shown
don't
yet.
you worry, I've got some special ones coming out soon.
Oh lord. So, if you had to pick
Oh,
a 3 shoe rotation right now,
yeah.
so you've got, let's just say you've got a race shoe,
Yeah.
a tempo faster shoe, and then more of an easy type shoe. Let's
Yeah.
say you had a 3 shoe rotation. What would your top picks be right now?
I would forget the easy shoe. I would get Evo SL, and I'd just run in the Evo SL. Easy
Yeah,
and
that's
tempo.
these ones.
They're great. I mean, and then I would probably go Alpha Fly 3.
Okay.
As your
I
race.
think the leaning, I need to run it more. I ran an easy run the other day. Heart rate, so my max heart rate is like 200.
Yeah.
My threshold is 176, so my 70% is around 140-ish,
Yeah.
or 137.
Yeah.
I was running below 135, 30 seconds faster in these shoes
Right.
than my Evo SLs.
Okay.
So,
So 30
yeah.
seconds.
Loads of variables.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
May have been fresher, stuff like
Yeah.
that. But I normally run at like 5:50, 6 minute per kilometre pace for my easy runs, and that gets me below 140. And I was running at 5:30 in those.
So the
And
leading
it was mad.
So the leanings, they don't quite displace the Alpha Fly 3 if you had to choose between them. But
Not yet.
as far as like maybe if you're either on a budget or the other ones,
The Alpha 3s I think are amazing. They're durable. I mean, people say about the air pockets popping and stuff, but I've not had that. You can run slowly in them, you can run fast in them, and they just pick up speed really nice. So, and they're nice and they're just very stable. I love unstable shoes. I don't care about stability in any way, but I know that lots of people do.
Sorry,
Yeah,
what was,
I'm the opposite.
Sorry, what was that about your IT band?
Yeah, exactly. Well, I've done strength training. I don't care. I can run a pair of high heels now. It's fine. Now, speaking of unstable, I've got my
here we
Meta
go.
Speed Rays. Now, these are the most ridiculous shoe. Feel how like that.
For any audio listeners,
It's like
they're
nothing.
bright green Metaspeed Rays with Wahey written on them in Sharpie.
Have you seen that gym skin guy on the internet?
Yeah.
No.
So he's like, you know, the whole manosphere.
Oh, God, they're so
Yeah.
But
nice.
he's not part of that. He's like this sort of laddie guy, but he's like the most wholesome, nice bloke.
The most Essex bloke.
Yeah, and one of his things, he just goes, "Way!" every now and again. So I was like, I wrote it on my shit.
So you've written
They're so
Wahey, and
light.
oh my god, they don't weigh anything.
And they are the spongiest, most unstable. Walking around in them, you think there's no way I can run in these.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
there you go.
they
Yeah.
use Asics's FF Leap foam, which is what they've actually put in your Super Blast 3s. There's a layer of
These
that.
ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super Blasters.
See how they've got FF Leap written on
Yeah.
them?
But they are. So I did a long run
Big
in
chunk of
London in
that.
them, and then I did Brighton Marathon in these, and they performed really, really well. And this was the ultimate test for my IT band because they really are. You know, you can't be landing on your heel.
What sort of price are they? Like sort of what,
£280 in the UK, I think.
Yeah, I was very lucky. I got them for half price because I happened to have a voucher. But I think.
Oh, was that the Vitality
yeah.
voucher? Yeah.
So I think I paid £130 for them.
Wow.
Okay.
Would I pay 260? Probably not. You don't
Okay.
really need them in that sense. And the next one I'm going to show you.
And then
I
just
think
just to
that takes
expand the bracket out, then Metaspeed Ray or Leaning as your race shoe of choice. If we say the Alpha
I
Fly
think-
3s at the top,
I do love this shoe, and I really, really love the Metaspeed Sky Paris. I've got two pairs of those. One was given me for free by my friend, so I didn't pay for them.
at some point I'm going to make you tier list all the shoes.
Yeah,
that you've
well, I'm
got.
going to go because now my gym I go to's got a track at K2, so I'm going to go and do a video where I do like 5 different reps, and I'm going to wear all the different shoes. I do love these Rays,
Yeah.
but I think I would probably go for the leanings. I'm really enjoying those leanings, but it might just be recency bias at the moment.
Right.
Speaking
Okay.
of recency bias, I've not even worn these shoes yet.
Oh God. There's another pair in the bag.
As I was running London Marathon and dying a bit of a death, I decided I would be treating myself. So I
Oh.
Fast R3s, are they?
Puma Fast
Oh.
R3s.
They look good.
Nice
And
colour.
they're the Aston Martin version, so I don't think that's a very
Are
good
they-
thing at the moment.
Oh,
with
no,
Aston
they're not.
Martin,
No.
the Formula One team's current
Yeah.
progress.
Oh.
But yeah, I bought those.
You've run in,
Everyone talks they are the fastest shoe there is,
Really?
especially when it comes to 5 and 10Ks. And we'll talk about it later, but I'm doing a summer of speed of wanting to get 5K, 10K, half marathon PB for summer.
I hope you're going to be lacing them up with these.
They've got bright
Yeah.
yellow
lovely
laces.
yellow
Why didn't
looking
they put the
laces.
yellow one? Because surely that's.
Yeah, so the laces are the one thing that are a bit rubbish about those shoes because I love a serrated lace. Unlike the my Rays have them and the Alpha Flies have them. So, but they are going to be
Be intrigued to see how you get on in those.
Yeah.
But the
Those
first
do
time
look
I
good.
wear them is when I'm going to be going for a 5K PB, so I'm saving them for that.
Nothing new on race day.
Yeah. So
I only knew things on race day. And literally, I've run, a marathon I ran with, my Meta Speeds, they were new. The leanings I ran in, they were new.
I don't condone any of
It makes it
this.
so much more exciting. Like,
Yes.
I need more danger in my marathon, so.
Yes.
So yeah, they are my People say they kill your calves.
Right.
A lot of people, especially like half marathon, for full marathons.
Yeah.
I have so many thoughts about everything you've just said about wearing shoes. I'm not
I like
haven't got that much
place
time.
at the end. It's like you can kick someone in the shin if they ever take you. It's like
Yeah, why do
a
you-
little knife comes out the end.
Why do your shoes have an underbite?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's all to do with the rocker like extending
Yeah.
out underneath.
Your
But,
Pumas need braces.
yeah,
Yeah.
I wore them and they feel. I mean, they literally you can see
Yeah.
through them.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited to try those out.
Yes, we shall see how Sam gets on in his 5K
So my
PB and a new
races.
pair of shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, did we ever actually finish your 3-shoe rotation? By the way, I think you got distracted.
I've probably got
So
distracted.
you went Alpha Fly 3 was your race shoe.
Alpha Fly 3.
Evo SL was in the middle.
And I'd probably have those Fast R3s, even though I'm not running them, just because they're so pretty.
they look nice.
I'd run an Evo SLs forever.
Yeah.
That would be my one shoe of choice.
So you've
But
got
that or the Alpha Fly 3, but
Alpha Fly 3 in bright pink, Evo SLs to do your easy runs in, and the Puma Fast R3 because they look pretty because they're the Aston Martin
100%.
one.
The aesthetic
This
is
is
99%
Nice.
of the battle. as far
Top
as I'm
quality,
concerned.
logical run coaching advice on
Yeah.
this podcast.
I think I do shout honourable mention to the Saucony Azura.
Yes.
I've been
Yeah.
wearing those a lot. They're the most boring shoe in the world. They offer nothing other than they just work quite nicely when
They're-
you're
they're
running
com-
quite
they're competent.
slowly.
Yes.
They're competent. They don't look very nice. They don't feel that great.
This-
But I've been wearing them loads. So
The
that
Saucony,
says a lot.
the Saucony Azura is the Volkswagen Golf of the running.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it really
Yeah.
is. It's the TDI.
Yeah.
It is a bit more protective than the Evo SL. So when I'm feeling a bit fragile, I go for that. I've been wearing the Mega Blast a lot, but the upper is just the worst upper in the world.
Okay.
Hate it.
Mega Blast. Which ones are they?
It's like the Super Blast.
But the.
But Mega.
They've got like a plasticky upper. and
Oh
it-
yeah, the Mega
gives you-
Blast.
some people don't have
Yeah.
it, but a lot of people get blisters from it. But
Right.
the Mega Blast midsole with a Meta Speed Ray upper
Would
would
be
be the dream.
creme de
That would
creme.
be my one shoe to rule them all
Right. Okay.
for sure.
That's
But
good.
luckily, I don't have to have a 1-shoe rotation or a 3-shoe rotation. I can have a 400-shoe rotation.
That's a good. That's a
And
good.
nobody's going to stop. But actually, no, someone might stop. me.
Your wife might. say.
My dear
Your
lovely
wife and your bills.
I'm going to stop myself
Yes.
because I don't need to do that. So I'm not buying any more super shoes
Super
for a
shoes.
while.
You heard it here
You've heard
first.
it. Yeah.
Right.
Should we
Should we sort of
Right.
like finish it up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What race have you got coming up? Very quickly.
Nothing.
Nothing.
No races for me. I just want to have a summer of getting stronger again. So I'm really focusing more in the gym. We're just doing some park runs,
Yeah,
a
just
bit of
enjoying
fun.
that.
Probably get a bit of speed up once I.
I think we would like to maybe build up to a mixed doubles Hyrox race at some point
Yes,
in the next
at some point.
6 to 12 months, just to have something to aim for.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Any marathons next year?
not for me. I've done 5 over the last 3 years.
5 and done. That's what they say.
So I'd quite like to work towards a faster half. So
Yeah.
my PB for a half is 1:34.
Yeah.
So let's see how close I can get that to 90 minutes. Would be pretty fun.
Okay, that 129.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'd like to get myself back to sub 90 half. That'd be nice.
But we
Well,
are
maybe Brighton
yes.
half marathon next year.
Yes.
That would be a good.
Yes,
good timing
I
for
think
that.
Brighton half next year. We're getting married this year, so we've got quite a lot going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, what about you?
I don't know. So outside of the mixed doubles Hyrox race, I'm also thinking of going for a half. I've got it in my head. I wouldn't mind doing the super halves. So there's like it's like the half marathon equivalent of the world majors, but there's 6 half marathons across Europe. Where if you complete all of those within
I think it's 5
5
years.
years,
Yeah.
you get the super halves medal.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't mind going for something like that. Maybe Cardiff half marathon.
Yeah, I was tempted to Cardiff, but I gave my thing away.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't fancy it. I do Copenhagen. That's amazing.
Yeah, that's meant to be really good.
Yeah.
But we've said, because Dan was like my cheerleader and supporter for Boston this year, if he wants to do a marathon in the spring next year, I'll be the...
Sign holder.
My job was basically just to drive you around and just throw Lucozade at you
Yes.
training runs.
Yes. So, but I think we'll probably, nearer the time, we'll probably maybe do some 10Ks or something like that. I would
Yeah.
quite like to get my 10K time down.
Yeah, just having some fun with some park
Yeah.
runs and track sessions
Just sort
for
of,
now.
yeah, and getting back to some like heavy, because for me, running and lifting, like I love both equally, whereas some people like, I only do the strength stuff because I know I need to do it for the running.
That's me.
That's me.
So that's easy. But for me, I'm like, I get as much excitement doing a heavy deadlift as I do doing like a fast park run.
Yeah,
you know.
That must be nice.
So, I mean, we haven't got all morning, but what races have you got coming up, Sam?
I'll round them off really quick. I'm meant to be doing, I'm not going to do it though, a race called the Drop tomorrow.
Oh.
Have you heard of it?
No.
So it starts in a up and running shop.
Okay.
They blindfold you. You put your phone and watch in a Ziploc bag.
Yeah.
They drive you 10 miles in a bus and drop you off.
I'm sorry, is this a race or a kidnapping?
Well, yeah, the emails are pretty intense as well.
Yeah.
And then it's a race back. And
That's quite cool,
I know,
actually.
I'm gutted. I really want to do it, but I'm being very sensible because my Achilles are still not quite over doing those 2 marathons.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's like 3 weeks later, and in my mind, that's forever.
Yeah.
But I know actually, if someone was talking to me and I was giving them advice, I'd be going 3 weeks isn't that long, especially for
2
tendons.
marathons, yeah.
How I run is very much it's quite tendon and calf heavy.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I did a run the other day and I could feel it, and I was like,
Yeah.
and so
Yeah.
it's 10 miles, but you're going to end up running much further because that's
Yeah.
the crow flies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go, but I do want to do it at some point. So that's quite fun.
Good concept, cool concept.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
good.
like a naked run.
Maybe
Yeah.
we should all do that together when the next one they do.
Yeah, you can do it in
Yeah.
teams. So yeah, my friends Deb and Harry, they're doing it tomorrow, and
Oh, cool.
the weather was meant to be looking awful, but I think it's got a bit better now.
Yeah, nice.
And I'm doing Worthing 10k, Eastbourne 10k, and then Goodwood 10k.
Okay.
Nice.
Any goals for any of them?
So Worthing 10k, it's gonna be my first effort in like 8 months probably. So I'm just gonna
Benchmark.
stick on one of these shoes and just see what I can do.
Yeah.
I've got literally no goals. I might not even have the time on my wrist. I might just literally just run as fast as possible and see what happens.
So, yep.
And then Eastbourne is 2 weeks after that, so I just want to improve slightly after that. Hopefully I'll be in full training by then,
Yeah.
being very sensible. And then Goodwood is like 2 weeks again after that, so I've got like 8 weeks of like just trying to move that 10k time up.
You think?
Then I'm going to Arrow Valley Park Run, which is it's like near Redditch.
Right.
Okay.
Do you know Mom, as in middle-aged running man on YouTube? So he's a great YouTuber. So basically, most of the running YouTube world live in like a 10-mile radius in the Midlands. And so I said to them all, right, I'm coming up, and we do Arrow Valley, I want a load of you to pace me. So we're going to do like a Kipchoge sub-2 flying V.
Oh,
with me in
wicked.
the middle, trying to get my 5k PB. So
And what is that?
What? Yeah.
my 5k PB is 1924, I think.
You're 9 seconds ahead of me.
So, and that was I love running in awful conditions. So it's really, really cold, wet and windy home from parkrun.
Right.
So you love running in awful conditions and you love unstable shoes.
Yeah.
Do you enjoy
Well,
staying
yeah.
on your feet?
I just like challenges, you know. So
It all
I'm
makes so much
hoping-
sense now.
Yeah. So I'm hoping that I can knock that down by that point by quite a bit. We'll see. I'm then doing Battersea Half Marathon in August,
Nice.
which is meant to be a really good fast one.
It's just
so
looping round,
so the
isn't
Goodwood
it?
one, the Battersea one, they're run-through events.
Yes.
So I signed up for them, but Run-Through the other day emailed me wanting me to make some videos for them. So now I can run. They pay me like £50 expenses, and I can pick a friend and I can sign up for those of their races. So I was
Oh.
like, I've already signed up for all the races for you. So I'm now looking at loads of their Twilight. They do like Battersea,
Yeah.
Yeah. Chase the sun.
Chase the Sun, that's it. And
Yeah.
there's like a Dorney Lake one,
Yeah.
which
Oh,
is
fun.
quite good and fun.
Yeah.
So I thought I'd had my calendar sorted, but I want to do some stuff for them.
Yeah. Well, we can take it in turns. Dan can join you on one.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah.
Bring a friend.
So that'll be
That'd
good. That'll be really good. And then I've got some more 10Ks, Barnes Green, but the big one is Abingdon Marathon on October the 18th.
Oh, you went
Right.
for.
So I've gone for it. It's a really low-key village hall style marathon,
Yeah.
and I'm like,
Nice.
that's what I want.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's fast, flat. So my build starts now. The proper training is like a 12-week sort of plan, but I'm going to build now. But the training I do is no blocks. It's just ongoing. But I
Yes.
can talk about that in another episode.
Yes.
But just consistent, not putting yourself in too much of a hole over and over and over.
Yeah. So to summarise, we have no plans. You've got
All the
10k,
plans.
10k, 10k,
Half, 5K.
5k, and a marathon.
We're going to be just a bit more spontaneous, I suppose.
Yes.
Yeah,
We
you
can
can
just
turn
come
up some of
along.
those marathons,
Yeah.
and I can bring back reports from different things. But the
Yeah.
key goal for me is just not to get injured and to run week by week. And
Yeah.
obviously, if I need to take a week off because it's preventative, that's different to not taking a week off being injured.
Yes.
Because my brain is like, I have to run no matter what,
Yeah.
which is also bad for injuries.
Yes.
So that's all decisions I make are based on, will I be able to consistently run and not have to take a month off?
Yes.
Because that's not what I've been doing. So far, we're into May, and I've been able to do that. So.
We want to get you to Abingdon Marathon safely.
Yes.
Yeah, and if that means I run a 3:10 instead of a 3, then I'd rather do a 3:10 because
Yeah.
there's other marathons to try and do.
There will always
Yes.
be another marathon.
Yeah,
There will
I've been
always
to
be.
Brighton actually as well,
Nice.
marathon. Well, I entered the London ballot, and you get into Brighton if you don't get into London.
Yes.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Was the aim. So
Yeah.
yeah, plenty of stuff.
Plenty going
There's a
on.
lot to be getting on with.
And we're going to
Yes.
come back with some more. We have some topics, and we're going to post some things out, and optional things for people to get involved with, and stuff like that. To finish, I think we should do a very, very quick Dan versus Becky, Dan versus Holly.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask a question, and I'm going
Okay.
to say 3, 2, 1. You have to say what it is. So we'll do Becky first.
Okay.
Okay.
So what is Becky's favourite running distance? Okay. So you've got 5 seconds to think of that.
So Dan says it first.
And I'm going to say it at the same time.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. You
Yeah.
got it?
Yep.
Right. So I'll say 3, 2, 1, and I'll say Gary, and you say it on that.
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Half
Half.
marathon.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
Right, for Dan then, same question. What's
Yeah.
his favourite running distance? Ready?
Yeah.
Or squish. 3, 2, 1.
Half.
I feel like that was an easy one.
Okay, what is...
I think we spent the last 6 months of Becky's marathon training being like, oh, do you remember half marathons?
Yeah, I do. I wish there was a bigger thing of 30Ks.
Yeah.
I think 30K
I-
should be the new thing.
I
Yes.
nearly said metric marathon.
Yes.
Um,
I did a 26K, 26.2K, which I think I mentioned to you before. Dan did Chester Marathon, but they also had a metric marathon going on at the same time
Nice.
that I did, and I loved that
Yeah.
distance.
It's
It was
like
fun.
golf. 9 holes isn't quite enough. 18 holes is way
Too
too
many.
much, especially when you're not that great at golf.
You need an
And,
in
like,
between.
Something in between, like 12 holes. Lovely, I'd love that. And so
Yeah.
30K, maybe that could be a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll start it.
Yeah.
Right,
The
next-
positive split 30K.
Yes.
and-
Yes.
Perfect.
Next question.
Okay, what is Becky's favourite type of, it's a brand of shoe? She can only run in one type of shoe.
Okay, I got it.
Okay, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
It's changed, but yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
3, 2, 1.
Asics.
Becky has a pair of Super Blast 2s glued to her feet at all times. And she was thinking Saucony and then she changed it to Asics.
It used to be Saucony, but we've changed.
I'm going to go away and think of some more challenging
Yeah.
questions to catch you guys out. Right, Dan, same question now.
Oh, Dan.
Sorry for Dan. Favourite.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
Asics.
Asics. Yeah.
God, guys, this is
Yeah.
awkward.
This is- it's like the most boring possible.
like the Brady bunch.
It was like, oh, they think the same.
We're the same person.
Come run with us.
Yeah. I just want to say that I liked the half marathon and Asics first. And then Becky just jumped on the bandwagon.
Piss off.
She used to like 5K and Saucony, and now it's half an Asics.
You've been,
You used to
you've
be-
been influenced.
You used to be like Nike
Nike.
and 10K.
Yeah. That's fair.
Okay, I'll go on to the next question.
Nike's
Some
done a
more
bit
questions for the next
Right.
week.
Yeah. Cool. Right.
Wonderful. Well, thank you very
Yes.
much. If
Yeah.
you have listened to this, it is the first try, the pilot episode. So
Yes.
apologies for it being a bit random, but that's also, I like podcasts on that personally.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. We will probably have maybe a little bit more of a structure to it going for future episodes, but we kind of wanted just to get together and do a bit of a brain dump, which
Yes.
for less than 24 hours notice,
I mean, we could talk about running for.
Yeah, exactly. There'll always be like a main topic thing, and then we're gonna have some like gear sections and review sections and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So
but
there's
if
something for
you're
everyone.
watching on YouTube, then feel free to put any of your comments or your stupid questions, and we might even make a little dedicated segment to running stupid questions.
Yeah.
Yes.
Um,
Stupid.
But yes, stupid in air quotes.
Yeah, or just give us your opinions on what we've said. If you don't agree, that'd be
Yes.
fantastic.
Yeah.
If you want to weigh in on the Nike controversy, if you want to ask us any questions, if you want to tell us that we've got too many shoes, you can do whatever you like.
Yes. Cool. Right.
Brilliant. Well, I think that's it for this episode. We will see you probably next week.
Yeah. Thanks very much.
Bye.
Bye.